You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and we can see here from 2023, this index started in January up 15% here up till February 2nd, gave half of it back, and now has rallied here in a nice sharp rally. You can see that the moving averages are stacked here, as the 10 is above the 21, is above the 50, is above the 200. I remember not too long ago we were double digits percentage points below the 200. Now the Nasdaq is 4.1% above the 200, so it's definitely in an uptrend. It's still within this trading range though, which I know people don't want to hear, but it was 11,000 last, I don't know, April or so. Yeah, from here, this level, May, it's almost been a year here. So it trades below 11, trades above 11, but to me, it needs to get above this 12,269 here. Today it gapped higher, which makes a lot of traders nervous, including me, especially ahead of the Fed tomorrow. I'm sure Mr. Powell's going to try to knock this thing down. Anyway, my disclaimer is this is for my entertainment purposes. And I want to look at some stocks that might be driving the Nasdaq. As we know, those large cap technology stocks drive this index, and then Apple, of course, looks a lot like the index itself. This might as well be the index. Anyway, again, another strong day today for Apple. Tesla was another one, got a upgrade today, and this one looks a lot like the index. Had this big, more than 100% move, then gave some back, found support at the 50, and now it's just trading in between the 50 and the 200. It had trouble with the $200 level last time, so we'll see if it can blast through that area this time. Another stock that obviously moves the needle here in the Nasdaq is Adobe, part of the QQQ, one of the top 10 holdings. It was up 3% today. Amazon, again, I think it traded over above 100. Yay, good for Amazon. You can see after earnings it was rejected at the 200, and it's just forming a base. It's corrected for a long time. And of course, NVDA, they had their developer conference today, and they're the big AI. All I have to do is mention AI. This one is obviously trending higher and getting support at the 21 here a couple of times. So the trend is your friend, and that one's trending nicely. I'm just going to talk a few stocks today because tomorrow is the Fed, and everything that went up today can get slaughtered tomorrow. I'm sure Powell is going to try to talk down this market. Anyway, this is a textbook breakout from ON Holdings. This has been in our watch list for quite some time for obvious reasons. This cup with handle pattern. This thing broke out 26% on more than 1,000% above average daily volume. So that would be your power earnings gap. And if you look at the weekly chart, you can see this is just really its first breakout of an IPO base. So definitely one to watch if you don't own it. I know some people in our group subscribing to my service have mentioned that they held it and sold some today, and then some are saying they bought some today. So hope it works out for you both ways. Anyway, I'm just holding this stock, this small percentage, so it looks pretty good. CROX, obviously one of my longer term holdings here. If you got it, price point is everything. If you got it at 40, 50 or 60, whatever is trading down here, this little pullback's not a big deal. But if you bought it up around earnings time and it went up to 143, then pull back to 110, this is a rough ride. It's trying to bust through this 50 simple moving average here, and it's having a little hard time with it. So we'll see what happens with CROX going forward. Longer term, I'm pretty sure that they're going to deliver good earnings this year, and it's a relatively inexpensive stock with a low PE. Not that PE matters for a growth stock, but growing at, they said 10 to 13%, probably 20%, earning $11 or more. Should be more than $120 stock. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. Deckers is another one. I see a lot of their Hoka shoes. This one has delivered strong earnings as well. Little more expensive than CROX here, but still a really strong stock. And this one traded through. That's what we need to see CROX do. Blast through this 50 simple moving average with volume like Deckers did today. And Nike reported after the bell. kind of mixed results. I mean, it was strong. They beat, but they're highly promotional. I think they're just unloading inventory. We'll see what happens with this tomorrow, and after the conference call, which is ongoing right now. But, they did what they were supposed to do. They beat expectations and they unloaded their inventory. So their margins were decreased a little bit. So that might hurt them a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on. I want to get to the semiconductor stocks. These stocks made new highs today. These are just trending along with their moving average. This is ACLS, another new high. ALGM, another new high. Then it pulled back, closed at the mid-range point of its bar today. Yeah, 47% of its daily closing range. So it's just getting support at the 21, doing nothing wrong. AMAT, people were, texting me and, DMing me like, what's wrong with AMAT? Well, nothing, just pulled back to the 21. Some of the semiconductors, sold off today, but this is not company specific. I mean, there's no news or anything to drive this thing lower. Just a little caution ahead of the Fed. You kind of want to see that, right? ON, this is going to be on our watch list for obvious reasons. This one had this cup, had a breakout, and then pull back to the 50, which is nice buy point there. And now it's just kind of handled out there. ON looks good to me. LSCC, another one of our leading stocks, and this is just trending. The trend is your friend. Just like ALGM, just getting support at the 21. You got to love that. And Global Foundries is another one of these semiconductor stocks. Obviously, the semis are showing a lot of strength, and GFS, no different. This is on our watch list too. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to go through some stocks that I like. And for this, in Novo Nordisk, it's got the Ozempic drug and made a new high today. I mean, Arista Network, this was on our watch list and obviously exploded higher. It's extended. You cannot chase it up here. But obviously, congrats to the longs there. SMCI, one of our leading stocks here. Sliced to 50, we removed it, ran through it. We got back into it, and then it traded down. Once again, it's been kind of wild, but today was up, more than 9%. So that's why you need to be flexible and open-minded. 4 is another stock that I like, just quietly trending higher, getting support at the 21. Definitely like this one. And it's a leader in taking market share. Palo Alto Networks, I like this bull wedge pattern here. Traded down to the 21. Now it's traded higher the last 4 sessions. So still actionable and for me. And I'm definitely watching that one closely. Workday. Yeah, this is a base on base pattern here, and just expect it to handle out and maybe pull back, shake some people out before it moves higher. Coin is another one on our watch list. This is a stage 1 base. If you look at the weekly, this one really corrected sharply for a long time, and now it's forming this stage 1 base. So don't give up on these. I know they're kind of a niche market, and people don't really, like to, traffic in these types of stocks, but as long as it's setting up in a base and you can see the big blue volume bars, I'm interested. And LNTH, another one we had on our leader list last year, then took it off as it sliced its moving averages, but this is why we remain flexible and open-minded. It traded through its moving averages, made a cup with handle pattern. It's been on our watch list, and now it's extended, so I'm going to have to take it off and remove it. I just had a question here about ACLS. You can see it's a leader. Obviously, ALGM is a leader. Obviously, they're making new highs, but they're in the same group as STM, which is set up in a nice base, cup with handle. You can see that, and TER. So these are laggards, right? So my question is, would you rather have a stock that is set up in a base, ready to break out, that's lagging, or would you rather have one of these leaders and try to get in on these on a pullback? That's my question. Food for thought. We never give up.